The silence of deep space shattered like glass. Dr. Sarah Chan's coffee cup froze halfway to her lips as the emergency alarm screamed through the Titan research station. Around her, the night shift operators scrambled to their consoles, their faces bathed in the red glow of warning lights. The massive radio telescope array had detected something unprecedented. Signal so powerful it overloaded 3 different receivers. What the hell is that? Marcus Rodriguez, the station's chief engineer, shouted over the chaos. His weathered hands flew across holographic displays, trying to make sense of the data flooding their systems. Sarah set down her cup and rushed to the main analysis terminal. Her fingers danced across the interface, filtering through layers of cosmic noise and interference. What she found made her blood run cold. The signal wasn't random. It had structure, pattern, desperation woven into every frequency modulation. Most terrifying of all, it was clearly artificial, and it was coming from outside the solar system. "Marcus, look at this," she called, her voice barely steady. "The signal's been compressed using mathematical constants. Pi, the golden ratio, prime number sequences. Whatever sent this knows advanced mathematics." The burly engineer leaned over her shoulder, his face grave. "How far out?" Sarah's calculations painted themselves across her screen in cold blue numbers. Proxima Centauri system. 4.2 light-years away. "But Marcus," she turned to face him, her dark eyes wide with a mixture of fear and wonder. "This signal is only 3 days old? That means whatever sent it has faster-than-light communication." The implications hit them both like a sledgehammer. If an alien civilization had FTL communication, they likely had FTL travel. And if they were sending out what appeared to be a distress signal using universal mathematical principles, they were trying to reach anyone who might help. Commander Elena Vasquez burst through the station's airlock, still pulling on her uniform jacket. Her silver hair was disheveled from sleep, but her steel-gray eyes were alert and focused. As the station's military liaison, she'd been awakened the moment the signal was detected. "Report," she barked, striding to the central command console. "Unknown extraterrestrial signal from Proxima Centauri," Sarah replied, transferring her data to the main display. "Mathematical structure suggests intelligence. The repetition pattern and frequency modulation indicate extreme urgency." Elena studied the scrolling data, her expression growing darker by the second. "Any idea what they're saying?" "We're working on it," Marcus replied, adjusting his thick-rimmed glasses. "But Commander, there's something else. The signal's power. Output is massive. Whatever's broadcasting this is using energy equivalent to a small star." Before Elena could respond, the station's AI announced in its calm, synthetic voice, "Signal translation progress. 67% complete. Preliminary analysis suggests content relates to imminent threat and request for assistance." The 3 humans exchanged glances. First contact with an alien civilization was supposed to be humanity's greatest moment. A celebration of life beyond Earth. Instead, they were receiving what appeared to be a cosmic cry for help. "Sarah, how long for a complete translation?" Elena asked. "At current processing speed, maybe 6 hours, she replied, then hesitated. "But Commander, I've been analyzing the signal degradation. Whatever's happening to them, they don't have 6 hours. The transmission strength is dropping exponentially." Elena's training kicked in. Decades of military experience had taught her to make decisions with incomplete information. Send everything to Earth Command, priority Alpha clearance, and prepare. A response transmission. A response? Marcus looked incredulous. "Commander, we don't even know what they're saying yet." "We know enough," Elena replied grimly. "They're in trouble, they're using mathematics we can understand, and they're powerful enough to reach across interstellar space. If they fall to whatever's threatening them, Earth might be next." As if summoned by her words, the station's AI chimed again. "Translation update. Signal content includes galactic coordinate references. Cross-referencing with stellar cartography databases." A pause. "Warning. Multiple coordinate sets reference trajectory toward Sol system." The blood drained from Sarah's face. "Commander, I think they're not just asking for help. They're warning us about something coming our way. The emergency klaxon suddenly went silent, leaving only the quiet hum of life support systems and the soft chirping of incoming data. In that momentary calm, all three humans understood that their lives and possibly the fate of their entire species had just changed forever. Elena straightened her shoulders, the weight of command settling around her like armor. Get me a line-to-earth command, now? She turned to face the star field visible through the station's main viewport, where Proxima Centauri was just a tiny point of light among billions. It looks like humanity's about to answer its first interstellar distress call, but none of them could have imagined what that answer would cost or what it would reveal about the galaxy's most dangerous inhabitants. Chapter 2. The translation 8 hours later. The full translation arrived at Earth's Global Defense Headquarters. Like a digital apocalypse, General Patricia Hayes, Earth's highest-ranking military officer, stood before a room filled with the planet's brightest minds. Linguists, xenobiologists, military strategists, and physicists all summoned. For humanity's first glimpse into an alien mind? The translation scrolled across the massive display screen, each word carefully analyzed and verified by quantum computers working in parallel. Dr. Kenji Nakamura, Earth's leading xenolinguist, stepped forward to address the assembly. His usually calm demeanor was replaced by barely contained excitement and terror. Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully decoded the Proxima signal. What we've discovered will change everything we thought we knew about our place in the galaxy. The room fell silent as he activated the display. **** Galactic Emergency Transmission Priority. Absolute ***** from Zephyrian Research Collective. Proxima Centauri 3********* 2. Any sapient species capable of faster-than-light response *********. Timestamp. Galactic Standard the 15th of March, 847 *********. We are the Zephyrians. Our homeworld burns. The Devourers have found us. ********* For those who receive this message and do not know the terror that approaches, understand this: the Devourers are not merely conquerors. They are erasers of existence itself. They consume not just worlds and civilizations, but the very concept of life. They leave behind quantum voids where matter itself forgets how to exist. ***********. Our civilization survived for 12,000 of your Earth years. We developed faster-than-light travel when your species was discovering fire. We built cities that floated on artificial gravity, created art that existed in 17 dimensions, and achieved perfect harmony with our ecosystem. *********. None of it mattered. The Devourers came from the galactic core, moving outward in a spiral of annihilation. They have consumed 47 known civilizations. Each species they encounter faces the same choice: flee or cease to exist. *********. We chose to flee. Our evacuation fleets launched 16 of your Earth days ago. But we are not fast enough. The Devourer scout ships will overtake us within 72 Earth hours. *********. This brings us to you, unknown recipients of our final transmission. *******. According to our deep space surveys, your star system contains the galaxy's only known death world. **********. For those unfamiliar with galactic classification systems, death worlds are planets so hostile that they should be impossible to inhabit. The gravity crushes bone, the atmosphere burns lungs. The native predators hunt with intelligence and cruelty. The weather patterns can level cities. Even the microscopic life forms are deadly. **********. Death worlds are nature's ultimate test. They forge species that can survive anything. ********. Our analysis of your planet's electromagnetic signatures suggests you have not only survived your death world, you have thrived. Your species broadcasts continuously, suggesting a global civilization. Your planet shows signs of massive industrial activity, controlled energy releases that can only mean advanced technology, and most remarkably intentional changes to your atmospheric composition. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Only a species of extraordinary resilience could achieve this. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Asterisk, we know this message reaches you as first contact. We know we ask the impossible. But if any species in the galaxy can stand against the Devourers, it is the survivors of a death world. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The Devourers will reach your system in approximately 4 of your Earth months. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Attached to this transmission are our complete technological databases, star charts showing Devourer movement patterns, and the quantum frequency signatures of our evacuation fleet. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. If you choose to help us, we are heading for the asteroid field in your outer system. If you choose to ignore us, we understand. We have seen what fear of the Devourers does to civilizations. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. But please, survivors of the death world, do not let our children's stories end in silence. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. High Scholar Vexalia. Last voice of Zephyr asterisk, 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 end transmission asterisk, asterisk. The silence in the briefing room stretched for nearly a minute. Finally, General Hayes cleared her throat. Dr. Nakamura, how confident are we in this translation? 97.4% accuracy, he replied, his voice hoarse. The mathematical concepts translate perfectly, and they included a comprehensive linguistic key in their data package. General, this is genuine. Admiral Chun-Li, head of Earth's Space Defense Force, leaned forward in his chair. Let me understand this correctly. We're being contacted by aliens who are fleeing from other aliens that apparently eat entire civilizations? Not eat, corrected Dr. Sarah Martinez, the xenobiologist who had been analyzing the attached scientific data. According to their records, the Devourers don't consume for sustenance. They consume for ideology? The concept doesn't translate well, but it appears they believe the universe should return to an empty state. They're attempting to undo the existence of life itself, and they think we can fight these things because Earth is a death world. General Hayes' skepticism was evident. Dr. Martinez pulled up additional displays showing the Zephyrian analysis of Earth. Their assessment is actually quite accurate. Compared to other life-bearing worlds in their database, Earth is extraordinarily hostile. Most inhabited planets have stable climates, minimal geological activity, and ecosystems that exist in perfect balance. Our planet has ice ages, supervolcanoes, massive storms, plate tectonics, and an extinction event roughly every 65 million years. She switched to a comparative chart. The average inhabited world has gravity 60% that of Earth's. Most species evolution in environments with atmospheric pressures less than half of ours. Their biology is adapted for stability and efficiency. Ours is adapted for survival against impossible odds. So they want us to be galactic exterminators because our planet is a hellhole? Admiral Lee's dry humor couldn't hide his concern. Not exterminators, General Hayes corrected, studying the tactical implications. They want us to be soldiers. The question is, can we trust them? And even if we can, do we have any chance against something that's wiped out 47 civilizations? The answer came from an unexpected source, Dr. James Wright, a quiet astrophysicist who had been analyzing the star charts. Suddenly stood up. General, I need to show you something. He activated a new display showing the Devourer movement patterns overlaid on galactic maps. According to Zephyrian data, the Devourers don't attack randomly. They follow a specific pattern, moving outward from the galactic core in a spiral. Each civilization they encounter is given the same choice: flee toward the galactic rim or be destroyed. He traced the pattern with his finger. But look at this. They're not just consuming civilizations. They're herding the survivors toward specific areas of space, corralling them. The implication hit everyone simultaneously. General Hayes spoke first. They're not just destroying civilizations, they're collecting them. Which means, Admiral, Lee continued, the survivors aren't actually escaping. They're being gathered for something. Dr. Wright nodded grimly. According to the timeline, we have approximately 3 months before refugee species from across the galaxy start arriving in our outer system, all of them fleeing toward the same region of space. A trap, General Hayes concluded. The entire galactic evacuation is being funneled toward Earth. The room erupted in urgent conversations as the military officers began calculating logistics and the scientists started modeling scenarios. But through it all, one question hung in the air. Like a sword, had the Zephyrians contacted Earth to ask for help, or had the Devourers driven them here deliberately? And if it was a trap, was there any way to avoid it? Chapter 3, First Contact. The asteroid series had been transformed into humanity's most advanced military installation in just 72 hours. Magnetic launchers, shield generators, and the prototype jump-capable ships of Earth's hastily assembled fleet surrounded the dwarf planet like a mechanical constellation. Admiral Lee stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance, humanity's first true warship, watching his tactical displays with growing tension. "Contact bearing 2-7-Mark-15, announced Lieutenant Sarah Kim, the ship's sensor operator. "It's massive, Admiral, 15 kilometers long, maybe 3 wide. Energy signatures are unlike anything in our databases." Through the main viewer, Admiral Lee watched as space itself seemed to shimmer and fold. Reality twisted like heated glass. And then the Zephyrian ship materialized. Graceful construction of flowing curves and crystalline surfaces that caught and reflected the distant sun in impossible patterns. "Holy hell," whispered Commander Jackson from the weapons console. "How do we even begin to communicate with something like that?" The answer came immediately. The communications array crackled to life and a voice spoke in perfect, unaccented English. "Earth vessels, this is the Zephyrian ship Harmony of Spheres. We are honored by your response to our distress call, requesting permission to dock and establish formal first contact protocols." Admiral Lee exchanged glances with his senior staff. After 72 hours of debate and preparation, the moment had arrived. "Harmony of Spheres, this is Admiral Lee of the United Earth Space Force. Permission granted for approach. Be advised, we have prepared a reception area aboard Ceres Station." "Acknowledged, Admiral Lee. We are transmitting our delegation roster now. Fair warning, our appearance may be surprising to your species." 2 hours later in the hastily constructed diplomatic suite aboard Ceres Station, Admiral Lee stood beside Ambassador Maria Santos as humanity prepared to meet its first aliens. The airlock cycled, atmosphere equalized, and the door slided open. The being that stepped through was nothing like the popular imagination had predicted. Vexalia stood nearly 3 meters tall, her body resembling a cross between a mantis and a hummingbird. Her forearms moved with liquid grace, each ending in hands that possessed 7 slender fingers. Her head was elongated and elegant with large, multifaceted eyes that shifted through colors like oil on water. Most remarkably, her skin appeared to be made of living crystal, refracting light into patterns that seemed to convey meaning. Behind her came 2 others, one resembling a walking tree with bark that pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, and another that looked like a living geometric theorem, its body constantly shifting between different mathematical configurations. "Ambassador Santos, Admiral Lee," Vexalia spoke, her voice carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate in their bones. "I am High Scholar Vexalia of the Zephyrian Research Collective. These are my colleagues, Grove Singer Thelanox of the Verdani, Union and Calculating Prime of the Rational Consciousness." Ambassador Santos, to her credit, stepped forward without hesitation. "High Scholar, we welcome you to human space. We've reviewed your transmission and your data packages. Our questions are extensive, as I would expect from a death world." "Species," Vexalia replied, her crystal skin flickering with what might have been amusement. "Your people's reputation for directness precedes you." Admiral Lee couldn't hide his confusion. "Reputation? This is first contact. How do you know anything about us?" The living tree, Grove Singer Thelanox, rustled its leaves in what was clearly laughter. "Admiral, you significantly underestimate how closely the galaxy has been watching. Your species. Earth's radio broadcasts have been entertainment programming for civilized worlds for decades. Wait, Ambassador Santos said slowly. You've been listening to our television shows? Television, radio, internet transmissions that leak into space. Confirmed calculating prime, its geometric form rotating through several configurations. Your species broadcasts its cultural development continuously. We know your languages, your social structures, your conflicts, and your achievements. Vexalia moved to a viewing port and gestured toward the distant sun. What you call privacy is largely meaningless on a galactic scale. Advanced civilizations monitor developing species as a matter of course. Usually we maintain non-interference protocols until natural spaceflight development occurs. Usually, Admiral Lee's tone was sharp. The Devourer crisis changes everything, Vexalia replied, turning back to face them. Admiral, your species has been developing faster than our models predicted. 30 years ago, our projections suggested you wouldn't achieve faster-than-light capability for another century. Yet our sensors detected your first successful jump. Drive test last month. The humans exchanged glances. Earth's jump drive program was classified beyond top secret. How could you possibly know about that? Because, said Grove Singer Thelanox, we've been helping. The silence stretched uncomfortably long. Finally, Ambassador Santos found her voice. What do you mean, helping? Calculating Prime's form shifted into what resembled a star map. Certain technological breakthroughs on your world occurred with ... gentle guidance. The quantum field equations that made your jump drive possible were inspired by mathematical proofs that we ensured were discovered. By your scientists at the appropriate time? The Copenhagen interpretation controversy that led to your unified field theory, added Vexalia. The metallurgy advances that made your new hull plating possible. The energy storage systems that power your weapons? None of these developments were accidents. Admiral Lee's face was turning red. You've been manipulating us? Preparing you, Vexalia corrected firmly. The Devourers operate on predictable timelines. We calculated that when they reached this spiral arm of the galaxy, the only species with any chance of resistance would be Deathworlders. Your planet was the obvious candidate. Obvious? Ambassador Santos' diplomatic training was being tested to its limits. Grove Singer Thelanox rustled again. Ambassador, your species has survived ice ages, supervolcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, and has turned warfare into an art form. You've created weapons capable of destroying your own planet, yet somehow managed not to use them. You've developed global communications, space travel, and artificial intelligence while your planet actively tries to kill you on a daily basis. Most species achieve interstellar flight after 10,000 years of stable development, added Calculating Prime. You've done it in less than 1,000 years of technological civilization, and you did it while fighting a constant war for survival against your own environment. Vexalia moved closer, her crystal skin pulsing with urgent colors. This is why we need you. Every other species in the galaxy developed in paradise conditions. When faced with existential threat, they flee or surrender. Deathworlders fight. Admiral Lee was quiet for a long moment, absorbing the implications. How many Deathworlds are there in the galaxy? Counting Earth? Vexalia's color shifted to what might have been sadness. 1. The other 7 Deathworld species were consumed by the Devourers between 50 and 200 years ago. The weight of that statement settled over the room like a heavy blanket. Humanity was alone, not just as the only intelligent species from Earth, but as the last survivors of the galaxy's most dangerous proving grounds. So, Admiral Lee said finally, when you say we're the galaxy's last hope, you mean that literally. I do, Vexalia confirmed. But Admiral, I need you to understand something crucial about the Devourers. They don't just destroy civilizations through superior technology. They corrupt them. They turn species against themselves, make them doubt their own worth, convince them that resistance is futile. She gestured to her companions. Every species they've encountered has had representatives who chose to serve them, believing that cooperation would ensure survival. The Devourers use these collaborators to spread despair and division. Are you saying there might be human collaborators? Ambassador Santos asked. I'm saying that if the Devourers follow their pattern, they will make contact with your species. Soon, they will offer selected humans power, safety, and survival in exchange for cooperation. They will provide proof that resistance is hopeless. They will be very convincing. Admiral Lee straightened his shoulders. Then we'd better make sure we're ready for them. But even as he spoke, none of them knew that deep in Earth's communication networks, the first Devourer infiltration programs were already beginning their insidious work. #. Chapter 4. The Devourer Gambit 3 weeks after first contact. Captain Elena Rodriguez piloted her scout ship through the outer reaches of the Kuiper Belt, her sensors probing the darkness for signs of the approaching threat. The modified stealth corvette Whisper's Shadow was humanity's most advanced reconnaissance vessel, equipped with Zephyrian sensor technology that could detect quantum signatures. Across impossible distances, what she found made her blood freeze. "Control, this is Whisper's Shadow," she transmitted on the encrypted channel back to Ceres Command. "You need to see this immediately." The tactical display showed not one, not 10, but hundreds of contacts emerging from jump space at the edge of the solar system. But these weren't the organic, flowing designs of Zephyrian refugee ships. These vessels were geometric nightmares, perfect black polyhedrons that seemed to absorb light itself. Their surfaces covered in patterns that hurt to look at directly. "Whisper's Shadow, this is Admiral Lee. Report. Sir, we have massive Devourer presence entering the system. Count is 347 vessels, ranging from frigate to dreadnought class." But Admiral ... quotes Elena paused, double-checking her readings. "They're not attacking, they're broadcasting?" The transmission that followed would be remembered as the most terrifying moment in human history. The voice that emerged from every communication device in the solar system was pleasant, reasonable, and spoke with the authority of absolute certainty. It sounded distinctly human, with a slight British accent that made it seem trustworthy and familiar. "Greetings, people of Earth. I am Coordinator Thane, formerly of the Altarian Republic, now serving as a diplomatic representative of the Devourer Collective. I come with an offer that will save your species from unnecessary suffering." On Ceres Station, Admiral Lee watched his tactical displays with growing alarm. The Devourer fleet wasn't taking aggressive positions. Instead, they were arranging themselves in a perfect sphere around the solar system's edge, each ship precisely positioned to create an unbreakable containment field. The voice continued. "I know what the Zephyrians have told you. They have painted us as monsters, destroyers, enemies of life itself. This is the desperate propaganda of a species that refused to accept evolutionary necessity." In the diplomatic suite, Vexalia's crystal skin had turned dark amber. What the humans had learned was an expression of extreme distress. "He's lying," she whispered to Ambassador Santos. "Everything he's about to say will be a carefully constructed deception." "The universe is vast and chaotic," Coordinator Thane continued. "Life emerges randomly, struggles desperately, and dies meaninglessly. Civilizations rise and fall in cycles of violence and suffering. We offer an alternative purpose, direction, and an end to the cosmic joke of existence. Think of us not as destroyers, but as gardeners. We prune the universe of failed experiments, allowing the successful adaptations to thrive. Every species we encounter is offered the same choice: join us willingly and help guide the galaxies. Evolution, or cling to primitive independence and face the consequences." Admiral Lee opened a secure channel to his fleet commanders. "All ships, battle stations. But do not engage unless they fire first. We need to hear this out. The Zephyrians told you that we consume civilizations. This is technically accurate but incomplete. We integrate worthy individuals into our collective consciousness, while recycling unsuccessful biological and technological experiments back into base matter. The process is efficient and, for those who accept it willingly, quite pleasant." The transmission paused, as if Coordinator Thane was choosing his words carefully. "People of Earth, you have impressed us. Your species has thrived on a world that..." should have killed you eons ago. You have developed weapons capable of sterilizing worlds, yet somehow maintained enough stability to reach the stars. You are natural survivors, natural fighters, natural killers when necessary. These are precisely the qualities we seek. On Earth, in government bunkers and military command centers, human leaders listened with growing unease. The offer was everything they had feared and, terrifyingly, everything some of them secretly wanted. We offer selected members of your species positions of authority within our collective. You would retain your individuality, your memories, your personalities. You would simply gain access to knowledge and capabilities beyond your current comprehension. You would help us guide other species toward productive integration. In return, we would guarantee the survival of human civilization. Your homeworld would be preserved as a historical monument. Selected human populations would be maintained in comfortable reserves. Your greatest achievements would be archived for eternity. The silence stretched across space, broken only by the static of cosmic background radiation. We know the Zephyrians have shown you projections of our previous encounters. They have emphasized destruction and resistance. What they have not shown. You are the species that chose cooperation. The Valthyr now serve as our primary exploratory force, using their natural talents for navigation to map uncharted systems. The Korthic Collective provides our industrial base. Their efficiency increased thousandfold through integration with our networks. These species chose wisely. They chose survival. Admiral Lee was about to respond when a new signal cut through. The transmission, this one coming from deep space beyond the Devourer fleet. "This is High Commander Zara of the Terran Resistance Front," announced a distinctly human voice. "Admiral Lee, do not trust the alien refugees. They led the Devourers directly to us. This is all part of their plan." Every person on Sirius Station turned to stare at the communication array in shock. The voice was definitely human, speaking with an Australian accent and using military protocols that matched Earth's own command structure. "I am speaking to you from the heavy cruiser Prometheus, one of 12 Earth vessels that have been fighting the Devourers for the past 18 months. The Zephyrians are not refugees. They are advanced scouts sent to identify and manipulate target species." Vexalia's crystal skin flashed violent reds and purples. "Impossible!" This is exactly the kind of deception the Devourers use. They create false representatives of target species to spread doubt and confusion. But High Commander Zara's voice continued with disturbing details. "Admiral Lee, your service record shows you graduated from the Naval Academy in 2387, served aboard the UES Constitution during the Mars Colony Uprising, and received the Distinguished Service Cross for actions at Europa Station. Your daughter Sarah is a xenobiologist working on the Titan Research Station where the alien signal was first detected." The accuracy of the information was undeniable. Only someone with access to classified Earth military records could know those details. "The beings you call Zephyrians infiltrated our outer system colonies months ago. They'd been studying us, learning our language and customs, preparing for this moment. The distress signal was designed to make us lower our guard and accept them as allies." Admiral Lee's mind raced through the possibilities. Either the Zephyrians were elaborate spies, or the Devourers had somehow captured and interrogated human forces without Earth's knowledge. "Humans of Earth," High Commander Zara's voice became urgent, "the choice before you is simple. Join us in fighting both the false refugees and their Devourer masters, or remain on your dying world while others make the hard decisions necessary for human survival." Coordinator Thane's cultured voice returned. "As you can see, some of your species have already made their choice. The Terran Resistance Front approached us 6 months ago, offering cooperation in exchange for priority protection. They have provided us with extensive intelligence about your military capabilities and social structures. We regret the deception, but it was necessary to understand your true nature. The results have been ... enlightening." The three-way communication continued for another hour, each faction providing evidence for their claims and accusations against the others. By the end, Admiral Lee had reached a terrifying conclusion. It was impossible to determine who was telling the truth. The Zephyrians claimed the humans working with the Devourers were either mind-controlled or artificial constructs. The Terran Resistance Front insisted the aliens were manipulating Earth into becoming another Devourer tool. The Devourers maintained that resistance was futile and cooperation was the only path to survival. Each side's evidence was convincing. Each side's motives made logical sense. And each side warned that the others were master manipulators who specialized in exactly this kind of confusion. As Admiral Lee stood on the bridge of the Defiance, surrounded by representatives of 3 different factions all claiming to represent humanity's best interests, he realized that the real battle had already begun. The Devourers hadn't come to destroy Earth through superior firepower. They had come to destroy it through doubt, division, and the kind of psychological warfare that turned species against themselves, and they were very, very good at it. # epilogue, the choice 6 hours after the 3-way first contact, Admiral Lee stood alone in his private quarters, staring out at the star field that had once seemed peaceful and infinite. Now he knew it was filled with refugees, predators, and the remnants of 47 dead civilizations. His personal communication array chimed with an encrypted message from Earth Command. When he opened it, his daughter Sarah's face appeared on the screen, but something was wrong with her eyes. "Dad," she said, her voice perfectly normal but her expression slightly off. "I've been analyzing the alien data packages. I think I've found something important." Admiral Lee's blood ran cold. Sarah was supposed to be in protective custody on Luna Station, completely cut off from alien technology or communications. Yet, here she was, apparently having access to classified xenological data. "Sarah, what's your current location?" "I'm safe, Dad, but I need you to listen carefully. The mathematical proofs in the Zephyrian data packages contain embedded quantum signatures. They're not just information, they're instructions. Programming code designed to alter human neural pathways." She paused, and for just a moment her eyes seemed to flicker with an impossible inner light. "The Zephyrians aren't trying to save us, Dad. They're trying to convert us. Every human who studied their technology for more than 48 hours shows signs of neurological modification. We're becoming something else." Admiral Lee reached for his emergency communication controls, but Sarah continued speaking. "But, Dad, that's not the worst part. I've been in contact with others who've been exposed. We're not losing our humanity, we're gaining something more. We can think faster, see patterns invisible to baseline humans, and understand truths that were previously incomprehensible. The Devourers aren't the enemy, Dad. They're the immune system of the galaxy, designed to prevent the spread of chaos and primitive violence. The Zephyrians are a virus converting species into carriers that will spread their chaos throughout civilized space. Join us, Dad. Let the conversion complete. You'll understand everything then." The transmission ended, leaving Admiral Lee staring at a blank screen and facing the most terrible question in human history. How could he trust anyone, including himself, when the very act of learning about the threat might be changing him? Behind him, his door chimed. When he turned, he found Vexalia standing in the entryway, her crystal skin pulsing with colors he had never seen before. "Admiral," she said, her harmonics carrying new undertones, "we need to discuss what happens next." But as she spoke, Admiral Lee noticed something that made his heart race with terror. Her multifaceted eyes now held the same impossible inner light he had seen in his daughter's transmission. The battle for humanity's future had begun. But the enemy might already be inside their heads, and the most frightening part was that Admiral Lee couldn't tell if the growing certainty in his mind that cooperation was the logical choice was his own conclusion ... or someone else's programming. The stars watched in silence as Earth's children faced their first and final test, not whether they could fight the darkness between worlds, but whether they could fight the darkness that the light itself might bring. In the end, the galaxy's most dangerous Deathworlders would discover that the deadliest threats weren't the ones that came from outside. They were the ones that whispered from within, promising safety, wisdom, and evolution while quietly erasing everything that made them human.